Here we have issue 41 of the Delorean. It's nice. This will be the transmission tunnel, I guess. I guess that'll be the way it goes, yeah. Okay, let's do it. Center console. Okay, center console first. We're taking this piece and putting it into place here, and then we flip it over and catch some AP screws. There we go, nice little decorative bit in the middle. Next we have this piece that goes right in the center. Kind of hooks up under there. Yeah, kind of hooks up under there. And then we tie it down again. BP screw. This one you definitely need to hook up under here to get it to line up right. Actually, you gotta press it in there. That helps it line up. And then our BP screws will keep it there. This is just plastic into plastic, so don't want to over tighten these. Just slightly snug, and it's seated in there very nicely. Okay, now this is the shift boot. It's coming in from the underneath. Actually, it's kind of rubbery. Comes in from the bottom. Just kind of sits in there. And I think we want the boot. Yeah, okay. And then we have the shifter with the knob. Shifter. So we poke that through where the small ball is underneath. Small ball inside, and then it's just a shaft poking through, and the shaft catches the larger ball on the outside. And then we have this piece that'll catch the ball. So again, we put the stick through the boot, and then this one has a little cup in it that'll catch that ball. Yeah, that'll catch that little ball. Gives it a nice feel, and we're going to catch that with BP screws. Make sure that that ball ends up in the pivot of that. And the little stick has a nice little bouncy movement. And we're just going to get the ball right onto the end of that. There we go. Got our shift ball on there, and it's got a nice little bouncy movement. And that is it for issue 41. Okay, we're on issue 42 of the Back to the Future DeLorean. Time box display. Oh, this is going to be maybe our flux capacitor. Oh, I think it's just a light behind the time circuits. And it does have a little, looks like a little compass that's sitting on top of the dash. And then we have a little LED panel that will plug in. And I think that sits right behind the time circuits. And so it'll light up those time circuits. A red wire that goes through these two tiny holes. Not sure exactly what that's for, but we'll figure that out momentarily. Got something that looks like the stereo, and that will push together with this onto the top of the stereo. And then we use an AP screw. And it's threading into this silver piece. Don't know quite what these red wires are. There are two small knobs that go into the stereo. Gives you a little bit of additional detail on that stereo. And then that gets screwed into the top of this console, and it's going this way toward the opening. And then we screw that in with AP screws. And there we go. Our radio is sitting on top of that, which I think will be the time circuits. Here's the LED panel, and we feed the time circuits through the slot in the LED panel, and that will light up those time circuits. And then we put it in here, and then we catch it with an AP screw. Make sure the wire's not pinched. Catch it with an AP screw, and that LED panel will backlight the time circuits. Now we've got this, which holds, yes, put that small pad in and catch that with an AP screw. Nice and snug there, the green keypad. And that gets attached just under the time circuits. And there is a slot here for the wire to go through. And we catch that with BP screws. And there we have it. So we have the metal on top with the wires through it, stereo, time circuits, green keypad, and all wired in, and the wire coming out the bottom to light up the time circuits. And we have to feed this wire through the console. And then this sits on top with the keypad and the time circuits facing forward. And we could attach that with BP screws. And as I build this, you can really hear Doc Brown describing to Marty McFly how the time machine works. And he's punching in the time coordinates and then remembering when he invented time travel. So he's punching in stuff on the keypad and it's popping up on the time circuits. Okay, so I skipped this little compass that goes on top, so I will have to release the entire assembly and get that on there with a AP screw. Now I should be able to get in there with the AP screw. And there is a little index on there to catch. Compass in place. Now let's reassemble what we had from before. The wire's still loose. Don't want to pinch these wires, that might destroy them. Okay, that's good. Let's get this back onto the center console, facing the correct direction. Nice and snug, and it's got all its pieces now. Okay, and that is the end of this step, which was the center console, issue 42. And now we have issue 43 of the Back to the Future DeLorean. Console parts. This gold piece will go inside there. That's nice detail there, inside a clear case. Let's see, first we're attaching this gold to the box right here, looks like, and we're heading with that with an AP screw. Now we put the clear case on top, and it has that opening. There is an index there, a little pin that can only fit one way. It should snap on just like that, covering that up, but that's another detailed piece. It just snaps on there, and then this handle pushes in the end. Then we have another 43D piece. Oh, this red piece. This red piece that says reset. Reset. And that just gets pushed into place. Pushed into place there. Very nice. Nice detail. Oh, this is a switchboard with buttons. Each of these is a distinct button. So that's interesting. Wonder if that will control things. And that's going inside this. Oh, let's see. So this is going on the back. Largest width away from the wire. So I believe that's like this. Then we use AP screws there. Each of these is a switch. Now the switchboard is coming in here with the wire coming out, and then we can secure that with AP screws. Okay, and then the wires are coming out there, and these, and if you push them side to side, they still activate. So we've got our switchboard with just numbers. I think that'll go on there. And they just have 1 through 6. So we'll peel the adhesive. We'll line that up with the switches. And get it stuck on there nicely. And there's a little bit of extra goo. Let's see if we can get rid of that. See if I can gently get that goo off of there. This extra adhesive tape. Alright, we'll try to clean that off. Okay, we're able to get most of that extra goo off of there from the tape adhesive. So there you go. Okay, let's see. Next we will slide this into the center console. So we've got our center console. And we're going to sneak our wires through there. I think that whole thing will sit here. And then as we flip it over, that will take some FP screws. Before I tighten that one, let's get the other one started. Actually catching this time. There we have it attached. And then we have this gold piece that has a tab index. And it says high voltage. Nice. Has some grating on the top. Nice. Great. And that is going with 2 FP screws. Get that one started. Plastic into plastic, so don't over tighten. Just enough to be snug. And these switches are accessible. It's interesting because pushing them, I might should over drill this. You know, let's loosen this slightly because it seems like, see, when I push these buttons, they don't click. Over here, they're clicking. But over there, they're not. So something going on here. I'd have to just loosen these screws just slightly. And I think it's this decorative piece, but then if you see, it gets crammed up against there and it's pushing up against the buttons. So we're gonna have to deal with that. If I loosen it a lot. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, so since we tightened that too tight, it was cramming that up against the button, and basically pushing that button up that it was always activated. So make sure that you don't over tighten that one to get those switches to work. And that is the end of 43. Okay, now issue 44 of our Back to the Future DeLorean. Dashboard shell and 2 shelves. Okay. Shelf attaching to the dashboard. Dashboard here. It's like this shelf. This shelf attaching here with some FP screws. That just raises that up just a little bit. The other side is, looks like attaching here. Yeah, it's almost like the glove box, I think. And that is again FP. And that's about it. That's the dash. And that is it for a very short 44.